Braves country? This is Coach Ken Anderson coming for Hardcore Braves, and got my man Andrew Davidson on here. Andrew, how the heck you doing?
Doing well, Ken. Doing well. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah, we're good. We just got done taking our 15th series of the year, which is good. 15 series won, one tied, and two lost. As they say on the ball fields, that dog will hunt. And so keep it up. So now we head to Cincinnati. And the Reds are an interesting team. We're going to come in the game 38-19, on 9 games up on the Phillies. And the Reds are 29-26, 5 games out in the Central. Everybody in the Central has a winning record. Have you been paying attention to the Central, Andrew?
Central's pretty darn good, ain't it?
Yeah, it
You
really
know,
is.
just what was it? A couple weeks ago, we had the Cubs at Truist, and they were the second best team in baseball. And now they're, if I'm last time I saw, which was this morning, they're still in last place, or
They're
they're
in
now
last.
in last place.
Yeah, they're in last
Um,
place. Yeah.
I think a couple teams will maybe scuffle down the line. We'll see. It's a long season, but Central so far is pretty darn good. Milwaukee's a juggernaut right now. Their pitching is pretty darn good.
Milwaukee's the best team in that division, but that's saying they're the best team if Churio and Contreras and all them don't get hurt. So they don't have a lot behind them. But their pitching staff is definitely the best. This team here should be the team that's second best, the Reds. Pitching wise, we'll get into the pitching matchups in a little bit, but they have a guy that's a bona fide ace in Chase Burns, and Andrew's a good Tennessee guy. So we're missing Chase, but I'm not too sad about that. Are you?
No, I'm not too sad about that. I actually had the pleasure to face him in high school in travel ball. Went 1 for 3 off of him. It was not a fun at bat. Any of the 4 at bats I had against him was not fun. So I'm glad the Braves are missing him.
I'm sure the Braves are too. That's probably a happy flight, not only winning, but knowing Chase Burns is not going to meet him on the other end. So the other thing that's happened is their closer, Emilio Pagan, is also beat up. So it's going to be interesting, and it's part of the reason they have slipped in the standings a little bit. So I think we're getting them kind of at a good time. The problem is we're not going to, throw Sale or Elder in this game. But as the Red Sox proved, Sale and Elder probably probably need a little break. And so going to Cincinnati, I'm kind of glad we're getting the guys that we are. So let's get to it. Pitching matchups, we got Grant Holmes for us. They're going to throw Chris Paddock in game one. He has a 4.50 ERA. He's a journeyman. We'll break it down on hip coil, but just 27,000 foot view. What do you think about the pitching match on Friday night?
I think it's a interesting pitching matchup. Kind of which version of both pitchers are going to show up? Grant Holmes, is he going to keep the ball down? Is Chris Paddock going to keep the changeup low? We'll find out tonight. Actually, but I think it'll be a really interesting pitching matchup. The Great American Small Park is not very friendly to pitchers. I think it'll be a high scoring game. So if you like a lot of runs and home runs, this is the series for you. Hopefully the Braves, who usually do stroke it pretty good out there in Cincinnati, have a good series.
Yeah, it might be between these two guys who can get into the sixth inning. Whoever can get through their lineup the first time will be huge. So that kind of favors Grant because Grant normally first time through the lineup does well. So hopefully that'll favor us. On Saturday night, we're going to throw the hidden secret to the Atlanta's pitching staff this year, Martin Perez, and they're going to throw Brady Singer. Now you're talking about a guy who's just fallen off a cliff. It looked like in Kansas City he could be a bona fide ace. He ends up getting traded. Um, in a trade that brought over. Well, his name's just escaping me, but the little second baseman, and
India.
he didn't pan out in Kansas City either. So it's been a wash as a bad trade both ways. Brady comes in with a 6.26 ERA. What do you think about the pitching match with Martin and Brady Singer?
I think it favors Martin Perez pretty good. He's a savvy vet. He knows how to pitch in a ballpark like Cincinnati's got. Stinger has not been good this year. He's got the talent to be an ace, but just hasn't been showing it. Stinker, he leaves middle. Sometimes he's leaving the curveball up. That in that ballpark, you can't leave anything up. You've got to pitch down and get some hitters to chase just a little bit below the zone to get the ground ball. But I think that matchup favors Martin Perez pretty darn well. If he uses that cutter really well, back off the changeup away from righties, and the curveball in certain counts, and he's not walking people, I think it's going to be a very nice matchup for Martin Perez.
I do too. I think Martin can get the ball down, and that ballpark and will pitch smart. And Brady's having a tough time getting the ball down. That's what is struggling. And again, we'll talk about more on the pitching, the hitter side on the Braves hip coil, me and Ryan. But the last matchup on Sunday, we throw the best pitcher of the six. We're going to throw Spencer Strider. And here's another enigma. Nick Lodolo is going to throw for the Reds. He should be way better than he is throwing. He comes in with a 5.57. What do you think about that pitching matchup?
That's a good pitching matchup, in my opinion. I think Lodolo is much better than his numbers show. I think he's got the talent to be just like Brady Singer. It probably a lot better than Brady Singer, in my opinion, being a really tall lefty, good fastball from the left side. I really do think this will be a better pitching matchup than a lot of experts may think, or maybe what you would think maybe out in Vegas the bettors will think, because the ballpark, Strider sometimes can give up the long ball. Lodolo gives up the long ball, and he's got a higher ERA. But I think this will actually be a sneaky good pitching matchup, and we'll see if the Braves offense is ready to hit some lefties on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern. We did struggle against Peyton Tolley, really all three of the lefties, and but the
Mm-hmm.
good thing that we did was we got his pitch count up, and we'll need to do the same thing with Lodolo because on a Sunday game, both bullpens will probably be taxed because that's just what happens in Cincinnati. So if we can get Nick's pitch count up, that will help. So it looks like the pitching matchups are kind of favoring us, and so that means our pitchers need to do their job now. So we're going into this series on paper. The three guys that normally everybody in Braves country know of and have heard of, only really one of those three really hot, and that's he's having kind of an MVP type year, and that's Ellie De La Cruz. Ellie De La Cruz got 855 OPS. He has 12 doubles. He has 13 homers. And to put it in context, Matt Olson leads baseball with 33 extra base hits, and Ellie's right there in the ballpark with him. Ellie's just a special player, isn't he, Andrew?
Yeah, Ellie's a really special player. You don't come around every day finding a 6'5" shortstop that can hit from both sides of the plate with really great power and just lightning speed. If there's anybody I could want on a base pass in the bottom of the ninth inning in Game 7 of the World Series, it might be him on the base pass just because of those legs. But he's a bona fide superstar, and a player that us baseball fans get to watch and enjoy for many years to come.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy. I think the pitching staff and Jeremy Hefner are not going to tell our pitching staff he can't beat us. And the problem is the one thing that Ellie struggles with. We're not going to really throw with our three guys. Spencer's the closest. I think Spencer maybe can do stuff with his curveball and his slider to try to give him a different look on off speed. Ellie got to throw hard up here and throw the off speed, give him different off speed to throw. So Spencer's got the best shot at it, but you can also see Ellie taking him deep into the river too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll get to the two guys that most people heard of who are actually struggling for them, but the other two guys who are really doing well this year, one's a rookie, Sal Stewart, 826 OPS. He got kind of famous because he got in a barking, F-lated tirade with Eric Miller of the Giants as a game ended. But I kind of like Sal's spiciness, his spunkiness, and I think he's going to be a very good player for them, don't you?
Yeah, I think Sal Stewart's a pretty darn good baseball player. Probably one of the top players right now in the NL. Rookie of the Year, Chase. He's real savvy. He's a good player. I always like a player that's got some fire in him, show some emotion. You don't get a lot of that in Cincinnati anyway, being from the small market. But it's kind of nice to see some other non Braves, Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox highlights out there all the time. Sometimes it's nice to show some love and see some fire from the small market teams. And Sal Stewart is certainly one of those players.
There's a lot of pop. He's hit 12 home runs himself. So we got to keep him in the ballpark. He loves to hunt the heater. So we've got three guys who throw very good off speed. So I'm hoping that Grant and Martine and Spencer just throw off speed to him and just be stubborn and don't try to sneak a fastball by him. Use it as kind of a pitch for him to just change his eyes. And I think we'll have good success against him. The other guy that is really good for them, and he should be on everybody's thought in Braves country because he owns us and he always has good series and he's a really good player and he gets kind of overlooked, and that's Spencer Steer, who also has an 826 OPR. I think he's one of their special players and not many people talk about Spencer. What about you, Andrew?
Spencer Steer is a great baseball player quietly. Hits the ball well, plays good defense, can run the bases really well. He's kind of a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. You can throw him in the outfield if you really wanted to, if you needed. You can play first base. You could need to put him at second base. He'll do it. And I know he plays third base a little bit. So a guy that you got to watch out for. He's a streaky hitter. Remember back in 2023 when we played that great series up there, he was red hot. He owned us. And then maybe it was either last year or the year before that, we got him at a good time and we got him out just about, and he didn't really have that great of a year. He's a really streaky hitter, someone you got to watch out for, and quietly one of the better players in the game.
Yeah, and he's a better version, more a better hitter version of Mauricio Dubon. So that's what they do with like we do with Mauricio. He move him around. He can play anywhere, and he'll be tough. So we went into the Red Sox series, and the thing with the Red Sox series is we had stuff going on. We didn't get a preview. We would have talked about it. You can't let those four guys beat you, and they almost did. The Red Sox top four had a fantastic series against us, almost hit 500. It's the same thing here. Those three guys can't beat us. Where do you go find to make outs? Well, two of the names that most people in Braves country heard of are scuffling. That's TJ Friedel. He has 522 OPS. Matt McLain, who I think he could be a really good player. I think the Reds have him messed up, but now even I'm having my doubts about Matt McLain. He's a 620 OPS. Their catcher, Stevenson, is a very good defensive catcher. He should be a better hitter. He has pop, but he has a 627 OPS. And Will Benson, who looks like getting off the bus, he's going to maul you to death. He's also struggling at 630. That's where we got to go get outs, don't you think?
Yeah, we got to get those guys out every time around. Don't let, I know we say don't let the three we just spoke about beat you. If anyone's going to beat you, let it be these guys scuffling a little bit, not having the best confidence at the plate, especially TJ Friedel. He has been terrible, but he usually plays well against us. He's one of those other guys that plays pretty well against us. He's a tough out. Doesn't In the past he hasn't struck out a lot. He's a really good bat. He's quick. He plays good defense out in center field. Certainly a guy that we want to keep off the bases.
Yeah, and the thing with the Reds hitters, and something we're going to have to take into to account, they're a little bit like the Marlins with power. They can run. Their team can run. They will steal bases. They'll take extra bases. So our pitchers and our catchers will have to do a good job of holding them on, not letting them have an extra base. But they definitely have a lot more power in their lineup, especially at the big three do. Where the Marlins really have a couple of guys that can hit the ball consistently out of the ballpark. Now they have guys with sneaky, so this is going to be kind of a tough ride for us. Now the two veterans they have, Eugenio Suarez and Nathan Lowe, have actually had pretty good years for them. Nathan's really had a good year. He has 911 OPS when he has got to play. Eugenio Suarez is coming off injury, but even he's been productive at like a 745 OPS. They're veteran players, and we got to be careful because they can be sneaky at bats against us.
Yeah, especially Eugenio Suarez. I mean, Braves fans remember last year, hit 4 home runs against us in one game, and he can make that ballpark in Cincinnati now look even smaller than it is. He's got a ton of pop, a lot of great veteran experience. Has always had power, but always kind of picked up his game on the contact side and has started hitting the ball on the ground and other line drives that find the gap a lot better as his career has gone. Got to control Eugenio Suarez and Nathaniel Lowe, a local kid here in Roswell, Georgia. Got to keep him contained. He hits the low pitch really well. Got to watch out for him. He's always been a savvy, really quietly good player too. Especially when he's with the Rangers, he was always good. Great power, always the ability to drive in when he's right, 80 to 100 RBI when he's right. So those got to keep those two under control as well.
The key for our pitchers in this is also you look at the Reds players, and they have, I call it extremes. They either have really, they don't have many gray areas. They have this really hot red or really cold blue. And so our pitchers have to be pinpoint control. That's why both me and Andrew like Martine the best out of this because Martine can do that. But we'll see. So, with that said, kind of an interesting matchup with the Reds. Who is the starting pitcher you like the best of the three to have the best game this weekend?
We're going to keep the trend and say Martin Perez.
Yeah, I think Martine has a chance to do something special. Here's what's funny about Martine, that ballpark. You can see any of these three guys having a really good start or a really negative start because they will be able to throw the off-speed pitch, and that's what they'll need to do. But we got to throw strikes, and of the three, the one that I feel like has the best pinpoint control will be Martine. So I think Martine as well. Out of our bullpen, again, off speed's a key. Interesting, our bullpen, the big three, have kind of a little bit had their little moments, and that's supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen. So Dylan finally gave up his first home run of the year. Robert Suarez got hit hard, didn't give up, but his contact was hard off the bat. And whatever that was in the ninth inning, Rossio Iglesias, but Boston found a way to dink and dunk a bunch of balls to give up his first 2 runs of the year. I'm not really concerned. But who in this bullpen do you think is going to play a big effort this weekend in, as you call it, the Great American Small Park?
Robert Suarez will be a huge person into this series for Atlanta's bullpen. Throws gas. We've mentioned that our starting pitchers, don't the ones we got going, maybe besides Spencer, Holmes and Perez don't need to be throwing high fastballs to these hitters. They're going to be giving up home runs if they do that. That's when Robert Suarez comes in. You change the eye level on these Reds hitters, and especially at a guy like Ellie De La Cruz in a big situation, potentially in the eighth inning, ninth inning, maybe. This will be really big to have Suarez coming out there and throwing gas out to Ellie, and then maybe get him in a where he's really guessing himself. The changeup right, just down off the plate, going away from Ellie could be really big. So I'm thinking Robert Suarez is my bullpen pick.
Yeah, and interesting about that, I wonder if Walt will not try to throw them and get, if it's a close game, he's got to, but I wonder if he'll try to sneak and try to have Suarez close a game and Iglesias throw a game. So we'll see how it goes because usually you eat up your bullpen in Cincinnati, and I'm really glad we got Monday off to kind of reset for the Blue Jays series. With that said, I'll take the other gas thrower in the bullpen. I'm going to take Didier Fuentes. I think Didier Fuentes, if he'll throw strikes against this, will be nasty. And because he can elevate, throw this fastball up here, and he can throw that unhittable slider down here. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say the kid's going to go out and throw lights out in Cincinnati and announce to the country, because we're on national TV for the first time, and CJ then brought it up, 32 games. We'll
Wow.
be on national. We'll be on national TV. So the country hasn't really got to see how good the Braves are. So it's a good time for the Braves offense to show out, play really good defense, and let's show how good Dieter Fuentes is. So that's going to be my pick. So with that said, the 3-game set, do we win this series? And if we do, how many we're going to win?
I think we're going to take 2 out of 3. Part of me, after the momentum leaving Boston, wants to take all 3, but I'm going to be smart and take 2 out of 3. I hope I'm wrong. And I think this will be a very nice awakening series for the Braves offense to really get back on track. I think yesterday's game against the Red Sox was really good to bounce back and to get those 10 runs, a grand slam from Ronnie. But I think the offense is going to be back, and they're going to take 2 out of 3 and show the Reds and the rest of baseball who's the best team in baseball. And everybody's going to come for us now.
Yeah, I want to take a sweep here. I really like the matchups. I think we'll hit Paddock, we'll hit Singer. The one, though, that worries me is Lodolo because he from the left side, and he's better than what his numbers are saying right now. And he can kind of be real sneaky, and he's a little bit of like Peyton Tolley a little bit with the arm slot and the way he throws. And we did not see Peyton. Now, one thing we did against Peyton Tolley is we got his pitch count up. And we do that against Lodolo. So I'm going to take the safe ride and go 2 out of 3 in the series because, again, I don't know if our pitchers are going to hold their offense off as well. But I would not be surprised if we can come out of there with a sweep. I do not think the Reds are going to win this series. But with that said, they play great against us for some reason. And they will be pumped up, and we'll see. The atmosphere in Cincinnati will be great because the Braves fans packed that stadium, but the Reds fans do too. So it'll be like a college baseball game this weekend.
Yeah. I believe the Braves season ticket holder caravan is this weekend. I think it's the first of the year. I'm not going, of course, but I think this is the first weekend series where the caravan's going up to Cincinnati. There's going to be a ton of Braves fans up there. They're going to be loud. I know from past experiences, those Cincinnati Reds fans do not like us coming in there doing our chop. That's our thing. We're going to take over that stadium, and we're going to kick their butt. So,
I think so too. I think it's the first of their 4 trips, so it'll be fun. So, with that said, we're going to get out of here. Game's going to be starting in a few hours. It's evening game Friday. They play early, just like Boston, so it's a 6:40 start, and then an afternoon game on Sunday. Remember, the Saturday game is on national TV, but Brandon Gaudin is calling it, so you don't have to miss Brandon all weekend. So, and hopefully they'll get somebody in. I think AJ Pierzynski does a good job, so I think if they get AJ in there, and he's high on the Braves, so the Braves fans can enjoy AJ talking about us because he likes our team a lot. So with that said, we're going to get out of here. Remember, follow Andrew on X. That is at Andrew Davidson, but remember he has Hot Atlanta Highlights on Instagram. Follow us at Hardcore Braves, and all the other people and all their accounts. We're all over social media. If you need to find them, just go to at Hardcore Braves, and we show all their stuff, and you can go in there and find them. So we do appreciate you. Our numbers are great, and we keep growing, and couldn't do it without y'all. We love you, Braves country. And as always, we're out of here, and peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.